Guys, today is Wednesday. I hope everyone's day is off to an amazing start. Thanks so much for stopping in today, guys. All right, so today I wanted to come in and talk about a few things that are near and dear to my heart. All right, how to be the perfect neighbor. All right, so today I wanted to share with you guys 4 or 5 reasons why your neighbor does not like you. Wednesday is the designated day for your county to pick up the recycling and the trash. All right, everyone puts their trash out on, maybe Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. When everyone gets home from work Wednesday evening, they bring their trash can in from the road, okay? Let me know if the trash pickup guys come into your yard and pick up the trash. I'm pretty sure they don't. So I'm gonna speak from the point of view that everyone has to escort their trash can out to the curb, to the road, to the edge of the street. Okay, so they are, let's say, hypothetically picking up your trash and recycling on Wednesday. You, however, don't bring your trash can back up to the yard until the following Tuesday of the next week. That is why when you speak to your neighbors, they're giving you that side eye, all right, or they're not throwing up their hand and waving back. It is because they are sick and tired of you putting your trash can out Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and bringing it in 6-7 days later. It is just sitting at the curb, sitting at the road. Guys, please tell me there are not those of you who are members of the Unfrumpy Mommy Life channel who are guilty of this. All right, I know you guys are not doing that. Here's the issue with that, okay? During whatever season, guys, sometimes we may get some heavy wind, all right? Even, the occasional storm or two. We're heading into spring, and so every now and then you may get that just storm out of the blue. I know here in Georgia, maybe a week or so ago, we actually had a tornado come through. So guys, if you are leaving your trash can at the road for an extended period of time, there's a chance that your trash can is now down the street in the neighbor's yard because you did not bring your trash can back up to the road, back up from the road. Also, guys, it also kind of detracts from the beauty of your neighborhood. I know all of you guys live in just really, really nice neighborhoods. And so when everyone else is bringing their trash can in from the curb, from the road, it looks really bad. And hopefully there will not be those of you in the comments who are like, well, it's my yard, it's my trash can, I don't have to follow what everyone else is doing. And I understand that, okay? There are those things where you do not necessarily want to, follow the bandwagon, jump on the bandwagon and do what everyone else is doing. However, when it benefits your home, benefits your property value, I think it is, okay to kind of do what everyone else is doing, especially when it is something as simple as bringing in your trash can. Someone is gonna say, well, if my neighbor doesn't like me because, the first example I just gave, because I don't bring my trash can in, well, forget them. Well, they are probably trying to forget you. That is why they're not speaking, all right? So let's take all of these, I would say, with a grain of salt, but also these are some serious issues that can really, help to bring down the property value of your neighborhood. And guys, that is never anything we want to do. Our home, I'm pretty sure for most of us, is going to be our biggest investment, all right? Especially, if you own your home, it is the biggest investment. So we want to make sure we are doing everything that we can to keep that property value high, all right? And so that brings me to reason number 2 why your neighbors don't like you. You're not cutting your grass. Right now, everyone's grass, I will say here in Georgia, I want to say we are in either zone 8 or 9 for the growing season. So for most of us, depending on the type of grass that you have, I know our grass in our front yard and in our backyard is Bermuda. So Bermuda grass goes dormant during the winter and it starts to come back around early to mid-spring. Ours is still pretty dormant. That means it's kind of yellow brown. It's not growing. So, you know, we're at an advantage here. If you have that Bermuda grass, you do not need to cut it. Now, as we creep into late spring, early summer, guys, it is now time to start getting that grass cut. You know, if you have been a member here of the Unfrumpy Mommy Life family for a while, you guys know that Eric really does enjoy taking care of our lawn. All right, so he does a lot of the grass cutting. All right, now I know there are those of you who have spouses who do not have the time or even the capability. You know, everybody doesn't have that little green thumb. So your spouse may not be in a position to take care of the lawn. No problems there. I do know, however, there are a plethora of lawn services, not necessarily just here in Atlanta, but all over the country, where you can have a service come out and you get on a schedule and they cut your grass however they see fit. You know, sometimes depending on how often you water your grass, or like I said, the type of grass that you have, you may not need to cut your grass as often. And then that being said, you may have to maybe cut your grass a little bit more frequently, again, depending on the type of grass you have. Either way, you guys know when you need to cut your grass. If you walk outside and your grass is calf to knee high, it's past the time that you need to cut your grass. Look around your neighborhood. Take a look at what you see your neighbors doing. If your neighbors are getting out there cutting their grass, you know, once a week during the growing season, guys, then you probably need to be cutting your grass once a week also. Also, what you want to do is not have a yard filled with weeds. Those little yellow things that are growing in your grass, those aren't necessarily flowers, guys, that we want in our grass. Those are weeds, okay? And then the other taller versions of weeds. There's so many different varieties of weeds. However, those are not things that we want to take pride in, guys, as it relates to our lawn. We have a service, I want to say, guys, it's probably $20–$30 a month. They come out and they fertilize our lawn, and that takes care of both keeping the grass nice, thick, and healthy, but it also helps to rid the grass of the inevitable weeds. All right, not a whole lot, but I know everybody's financial situation is different. You can also go right to your local Home Depot and Lowe's and pick up a bag of, it's called Weed and Feed. Throw it out there on your lawn. The instructions on the back of the bag are very, very simple. I have actually done it at one of our other homes. No problems, and it keeps down the recurrence of the weeds. But nobody wants to, guys, live next door to that neighbor who refuses to cut their grass. You have to keep up with your lawn. Again, I know there is a lot of money that comes along with having a home. Believe me, here in this house, we know that. Houses are expensive, but you ventured into it and now you have to pay the cost. All right, so thankfully, we have not ever encountered this particular situation here. All right, so this next one is you have just really, really bad dog. For whatever reason, you have decided that your dogs are going to be outside dogs. They live outside and all they do is bark, bark, bark all day and all night. They patrol the perimeter of both sides of the yard as if the neighbors on either side are intruding on their property, okay? If you have bad dogs, guys, here, I'm not saying that you need to get rid of your dogs, but what I am saying is you may want to get your dog's little obedience training, okay? Guys, there's nothing more rude than coming outside or coming home from a long day at work and, you know, maybe wanting to do some work in your yard and your neighbor's dogs are just barking, 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 and that neighbor is doing nothing about it, okay? Nobody wants that neighbor. Your home should be that place where you can go and just find peace and tranquility and just retire at the end of a long day. Nobody wants to hear your dogs. Get them some training. Maybe if you can't afford the training, because I do know that dog training can be expensive, that there are some really great YouTube videos where you can go and just get some really good information on how you can curtail the loud, aggressive, overbearing barking that you may be experiencing with your dogs. You do not want your neighbor to start calling, you know, animal control, or even, God forbid, the police because of the noise. There is nothing I know I value more than at night, my sleep. So if your dog is keeping me up at night, you know, I may be pushed to have to call the authorities, and then nobody wants that because now there's some bad blood between you and the neighbor. So do yourself a favor, do your neighbors a favor, and do some research on how you can kind of curtail that barking from your loving dog. Why are your Christmas lights up and it is Easter? I mean, you have a full set of Christmas decor just blanketing your home in April. Why? You've taken the time to really beautify your house late November, early December, and I think I've touched on this a few videos ago. We now, guys, go and put so much time, energy, also money into decorating our homes for the holidays, but then by the time we get finished with these holidays, especially a tiring, grueling holiday like Christmas, not necessarily Christmas, because we do understand the reason for that particular season, but I'm talking about all that comes with it. You know, most of us have family members coming over, we're doing a lot of cooking, you know, all the shopping that we're doing, then doing all of the Christmas decor. It is a lot. But your neighbors are expecting you come January to have all that stuff down. If you're my neighbor and you still have Christmas decor up March, April, God forbid, May, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. No one should go into spring and still have Christmas decor up, but I know someone does. I've seen it. There are people not too far from where I live who, guys, have up Christmas decor. Why? If you had the energy to put into putting all that stuff up, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to have the energy to take it down. So if your neighbors are giving you the side eye, take inventory, take stock at what is going on. Now listen, I know we all have sometimes had those neighbors who, no matter what you do, they don't like you, they're just nasty, they don't want to speak. Well, we're not going to worry about them, we're going to leave them over there. Now, but you have to do your part as a homeowner also. Make sure you're not doing anything to cause strife. Because listen, if you are the only one with Christmas decor up, you're the only one not cutting your grass, you're the only one around in the neighborhood that's leaving their trash can out to next week, trust and believe the neighbor next to you and the neighbors next to that neighbor are all getting together and having conversations about you. I know we are not supposed to be talking about one another behind one another's backs, but listen, you're grown. You have had the fortitude, the wherewithal, the finances to go and get that home. We are expecting you guys to keep it up, all right? I think sometimes, you know, you really want to, as that neighbor who would love to go to the neighbor in question and say, you know, can you cut your grass? You know, can you bring your trash can in? But should I have to tell an adult to do that? I should not have to tell an adult to bring in the trash can, to cut your grass, to take down your Christmas decor. It's March, April, you know, you shouldn't still have lights wrapped around your tree or a snowman out in the front yard. There are certain members of society who are so guilty of this, and I'm not gonna call them out. Okay, I'm not gonna call them out, but you guys will know, all right? Your neighbor has an issue with you if your front yard, if your driveway looks like a car dealership, okay? You have a 2-3 car garage, but you got 7 vehicles parked out front, and not one of them is in the garage. What are you saving your garage for? All right, we use our garage. Both of our vehicles are in the garage, plus all of Eric's lawn gear, tools, paint supplies, you name it, it is in the garage. Our garage gets used. Your garage is not a living room, all right? Your garage should not be the game room. No, no, no. If you feel that you have run out of space and you're having to use your garage for anything but what it is intended to be used for, I'm sorry. It might be time for you to look at getting a larger home. Those are just facts. Those are just facts. When you are living in an area where people are really trying to keep up the property value, but you feel that you have to have every new car that comes out every year, but you're saving your garage for a jamboree or whatever for your kids to play in, it's unacceptable. It is unacceptable for us as neighbors to come home and all your cars are outside always. How do you do it? Your car is outside when it's 25 degrees outside. Your car is outside when it's 95 degrees outside. Your car is outside when it's dry. Your car is outside when it's raining. Why don't you put your cars in the garage? Your garage is not supposed to be another living area. No, no, your garage is your car's house. Okay, don't take your car's house and make it part of your home. Yes, it is an extension of your home, but that is for your car. That is for your truck. Now, I do understand those of us who have kids who are, you know, just about ready to get their own vehicle, and you may not have a 3-4 car garage. I completely understand that. And so I know a lot of us do have little areas in the front of our home for, you know, an additional car in addition to our, you know, driveway area. Perfectly fine to go ahead and park your kid's car right there. But I know people who have kids still in diapers and got 5 cars outside. No, unacceptable, unacceptable. Listen, buy as many cars as you want, but please make sure that your home is set up to house and put away all of these vehicles. I know people who have adequate garage space, but never use their garage for their cars. Why? Why? All that does, guys, is detract, like I said, from the beauty of your neighborhood. No one wants to live next to the car dealership. That's why car dealerships are not in residential areas, okay? Be courteous to your neighbors. If you can, guys, please put your cars in their house, which is the garage. Well, that is it, guys. Those are my reasons for why your neighbor isn't waving, saying hello, or even possibly giving you the side eye, all right? I don't believe that I called out anything that is impossible for us to make sure we're not doing, okay? You don't want to be doing any of these things. I hope that I did not step on any toes. However, as homeowners, guys, I just want us to make sure that we are doing our part to keep our property values up and going up, okay? Property value, our home, like I said, it is our biggest investment, okay? And we want to make sure we're taking care of our biggest investment, because you never know when you are going to have to call on our biggest investment, our home, and pull money from that, all right? So make sure you're doing your part to keep it up, all right? So like I said, keeping several cars out in front of the home. If you have 1 or 2 cars out there, I don't think that's a big deal, because like I said, if we have kids who are getting ready to start driving and they are wanting their own vehicles, you know, where are you going to put the car? All right. So in that instance, I don't have a problem with it. But for those of us who are just really into vehicles, there are some of us who just really, really love cars. In that instance, sweetie, you probably gonna have to get you a bigger house, or you need to move out where you can do whatever you want. You're not necessarily living in a community, taking down the Christmas lights and cutting your grass. Again, these aren't things that are impossible to do, but they do have a large impact if you are in fact doing them. I mean, meaning not cutting your grass, you know, too many cars out front, not bringing in your trash can. These are things, guys, that we do not want to be doing as neighbors. But leave me a comment. Let me know how you feel. All right. If you are guilty, do you kind of now see where I'm coming from? You know, maybe you never thought about the fact that, you know, your grass wasn't cut, you know, that your neighbors were going to possibly have a problem with it. Maybe you thought, you know, leaving your trash can at the road for a week, you know, hey, I leave it there until it's good time to pull it back in and put some more trash and put it back out, you know. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know, guys, if you have any neighbors such as these. I will pray for you. I hope you don't, because I don't know. One of the worst things you can have is a house that you're not trying to sell, but you don't get along with your neighbor. But let's get ready to start chatting in the comments. You guys know I always appreciate when you guys stop in to chat. I really do appreciate it. All right. Thanks so much again, guys, for stopping in, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.